Alright, welcome back to another episode of Modern MTG Wednesday here from NeverBoard in Spring Hill, Florida. I'm here with Alex, and we're going to be bringing you a cool match today. Myself piloting Colorless Eldrazi against Norbut's Jund deck.
Yeah, I love this Colorless Eldrazi deck. The first time I saw it, just looking online for some interesting modern lists that hadn't been done before. We've seen Colorless Eldrazi done in a Tron shell plenty of times. It's one of the most popular decks in this area. This is not a Tron deck.
Yeah, no Tron. It gets away with trying some other funny shenanigans involving Serum Powder and also Gemstone Caverns.
And Eternal Scourge. Don't forget Eternal Scourge.
He's a big part of it. And I honestly thought Eternal Scourge should do me some work in this matchup because Jund is a deck that's full of removal spells, and Eternal Scourge just does not care. He says, target me, please, I'll come right back.
Mind you, he is fragile in the same way that a Phantasmal Image is fragile, but it does keep coming back because it keeps going to exile. There are very few ways to get rid of this Eternal Scourge permanently.
And in case you're not familiar, it basically says you can cast this card from exile. So one of the cool tricks with the deck is you use Serum Powder to exile your entire hand, mulligan, draw 7 cards, and if you're lucky enough to get a Serum Powder and a Scourge in your opening hand, you pretty much start with the 8th card in your opening hand.
Yeah, mulliganing is very, very central to this particular deck strategy, and that's one of the reasons I love Serum Powder. It just breaks the normal rules of the game. Unfortunately, Soko, it looks like you're taking a regular mulligan here.
A raw mulligan. You don't really want to see this, but it's okay.
Did not find the Serum Powder, so you had to take a regular one.
Yeah, I don't think I find it again, but I have the Chalice of the Void in my opening hand here, so I'm feeling like I should do pretty well if I can get it on 1 before he makes me discard it.
Well, I do see some black card in Norbut's hand, although I think that might be a Dark Confidant, so. Leading off with a Mutavault. Not a bad start.
Oh, and yep, he's going to drop that. I'm sure the Chalice is going to leave my hand right about now.
Yeah, there it goes.
And
bye-bye.
All I needed there was a Simian Spirit Guide, and I probably could have won this match.
Yeah. But what can you do about it? Except drop another Mutavault.
Right off turn 1.
Just swing for 2 in revenge. Inquisition of Coastlick didn't hurt you? Well, my land is.
Yeah, the manlands actually do a ton of work in the Colorless Eldrazi deck. You run a Blinkmoth Nexus as well as Mutavault, and they're pretty fun to use, especially in combination with the 1 copy of Smuggler's Copter I have in there.
Oh, yes.
Your little Blinkmoth starts learning how to pilot vehicles. It's pretty funny. And speak of the Blinkmoth, here comes... I got 3 manlands out on them.
There are some human creatures that can't even pilot that Smuggler's Copter. Hi, Noble Hierarch. Mutavault coming to town again, but Norbut's got the Lightning Bolt to send it to the grave.
Wah, wah, wah. And I hate when that happens, man. Now I feel really stunted and stunned.
One of the big reasons that Chalice of the Void is so good, just being able to stop those really cheap removal spells that normally become really, really bad if there's a Thalia on the table.
Yeah. See, in retrospect, I was like, man, I probably shouldn't have gone crazy with the manlands there for the extra damage, because I already mulled, and a lot of my creatures in this deck cost pretty much 3 and up. I'm putting myself behind here and needing to hunt for mana, so...
Yeah, not finding a Simian Spirit Guide is haunting here. Tarmogoyf's going to come down. What do we got? Land, Artifact, Instant Sorcery. He's already a 4/5.
Yeah, super fat. Really bad thing about having the Artifact dropped from your hand. And that's dangerous, man. That's hard for me to deal with. But I do have the Dismember in hand, which I'm going to use right away to get that thing off the board before it gets stronger.
Yeah, do it now. Do it now before a creature hits the graveyard.
Yeah, and luckily Instant was already in the graveyard, but because I just learned the other day that if you cast an Instant, those go to the graveyard, I guess, before they resolve or something along those lines. So the graveyard count goes up on. I don't even understand.
Yeah, it's one of the most painful lessons to learn for people who are new to Modern is you try to Lightning Bolt a Tarmogoyf that's a 2/3 and there's no Instant that's already in the graveyard. And it just...
Hi, Mom. Yeah, it's pretty bad when the Tarmogoyf just grows in stature and dodges your removal spell.
So now we've got an Eldrazi Mimic facing off against a Scavenging Ooze. We're going to activate that Scavenging Ooze right away.
You scooze, you lose.
To exile his own Tarmogoyf, get a little bit of life back, make the Scooze a little bigger. So now the Eldrazi Mimic, going to need some help from another Eldrazi. Fortunately, Soko finds the number 4. Is this Thought-Knot Seer coming down? It is.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to trigger Mimic, make it a 4/4 until end of turn. And Norbut is holding on to 2 Dark Confidants, another Hand Hate spell. And what is this multicolor card? That's a Kolaghan's Command.
Yeah, don't want to deal with that right now. Get out of here.
You don't want to deal with that ever. That's always a 2-for-1, no matter what the board state is. Mimic going to swing in as a 4/4. That's bigger than the Scavenge use. Norbut's like, no thanks, I won't block that today, I'll just take it.
Yeah, man, Scooze is a scary card because that thing can go the distance and just continually grow. Eventually, it'll overpower me.
Assuming there are other creatures to eat, but there aren't any in the graveyard anymore. That Tarmogoyf was the only one.
I decided to take a sniff of K-Command because, I'll be honest, I didn't know what all of its modes were.
It's Shatter, Shock, Disentomb, and Piracy Charm. The discard mode of Piracy Charm. And another Tarmogoyf coming down. It too will be a 4/5.
Yeah.
It did not see its brother get eaten by the Scavenging Ooze, so no creatures in graveyard.
Yeah, I really hate seeing that card. So I'm thinking to myself, like, man, I already have one Dismember Gone. I don't have many things to deal with that. I'm going to have to just run a Reality Smasher at it later in the game.
And that's the Smuggler's Copter going away, like you mentioned before.
Which would have been really nice, actually, allowing me to get him on a clock, because I don't think Junt has any form of dealing with the flyers. And especially now that K-Command's gone.
I'm trying to think what cards it could play that fly, because in main board I don't think it has any.
Yeah. Well, it can get bolted when I crew it, which I guess is alright.
Blinkmoth Nexus flies, though.
Yeah, so I decided to peck him in the head with that little guy. Kind of a meager thing, but he's got me halted. I can't swing with either of my creatures. Tarmogoyf just gets some lunch and feeds his buddy Scavenging Ooze.
And Dark Confidant into Raging Ravine. Norbut's setting up for a big punch down the road. He's going to go wide and tall.
Yeah. So here I'm kind of hoping that his Confidant's going to hit like a Bloodbraid Elf or something and give me some slack.
Always risky playing that thing when you're lower in life, but sometimes you just hit lands and get lucky. And if Jund exemplifies anything in this meta, it's getting as lucky as possible.
Yet again, I've got really nothing to do but play a land and peck him with the Blinkmoth.
As long as Norbut's going to stay on defense. Oh, and he does reveal a land, a Bloodstained Mire off of that Dark Confidant.
That's exactly what you want to hit most of the time.
Mm-hmm. So now he's got enough to activate the Raging Ravine if he wants. It would grow, and it would trade with the Thought-Knot Seer, allowing him to draw another card.
And the fetch. Is that first land in Raven too?
No, he got the Mutavault earlier, so Tarmogoyf's still a 4/5.
Gosh, Tarmogoyf's so powerful.
Always got to watch your graveyard when that guy's around.
In my head, I'm already thinking, man, I wish I had Ratchet Bomb. Man, I wish I had Ratchet Bomb.
Norbut's just going to pass here. Again, playing very defensive, forcing Soko to do nothing but just run this Blinkmoth Nexus into him.
I drew the Seagate Wreckage here, so I think, okay, maybe I'll be able to actually find some answers here if I can just get this last card out of my hand.
That was a mistake tap, though. I understand you want to attack with the Blinkmoth Nexus, but I think this turn you just hold off, don't attack him, and save your mana for Seagate Wreckage. Just try to draw some more cards.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
I think that was a misplay there. I get why you did it.
Though?
Yeah, you did.
If I had to cast Serum Powder for 3.
And then actually, wait. Yeah, I think Seagate Wreckage costs 3 and tap to activate. Yeah. You might be right.
It does. It's 2 and 1 colorless, and tap itself as well.
I'm trying to search for the card, and instead I searched for a completely different card with Seagate in the name. Yeah, it is 2 colors tap. Yeah, okay, my math is off. Soko's correct.
No
That's actually the
I was
one.
wishing it was right, but
actually wait, no, the Serum Powder.
Yeah.
You could tap the Serum Powder for it. Yeah,
no,
that was a misplay.
Yeah, I miscalculated the. I didn't even think of the Serum Powder.
Okay,
so my artifact has summoning sickness.
Artifacts don't have summoning sickness unless they're also creatures. I know, I've fallen into that trap before in Commander games plenty of times because Mana Rocks are obviously very powerful in that format. And I keep thinking, I don't have enough to do all this. I'm like, wait, no, I've got like Signet and Soul Ring and, who knows what else. Anyway, Liliana the Veil doing some work here. It does hurt Norbut, but it does also get the Eldrazi Mimic off the table. So now Soko's offense is that much thinner.
So luckily my Blinkmoth kills Lily no matter what. He can't stop that, I don't believe, unless he tries to bolt it or something from his hand. Luckily, Blinkmoth's Evasion will help me out big time here.
And there's the first Eternal Scourge of the match.
I'm just trying to prevent him from taking one swing and taking me out here, because it's getting to that point.
And no attack from the Blinkmoth Nexus.
Yeah, this was a huge misplay. I thought about it after the play.
Scavenging Ooze going to eat that Eldrazi Mimic. So Tarmogoyf shrinks back to a 4/5.
Why I didn't swing with the moth. Oh, it's because I wanted to Seagate really bad, and I felt that I had no cards in hand.
Yeah, I think that was a miscalc earlier. If that Tarmogoyf swung for 4, it should have swung for 5, because there was a creature in the graveyard as well that was not accounted for. But it is now a 4/5 again, because the Eldrazi Mimic is gone. And now tapping 4 is this Bloodbraid Elf. It is. Let's see what he
Yeah.
cascades into. Norbut's got a pretty wide and tall board here. Thoughtseize.
He will not cast that on my empty hand.
Let's just throw that on the bottom. That's always the risk of playing these Cascade cards. You do not know what you're going to get. It's like a box of chocolates. And sometimes you just get something you don't want to
Yeah,
cast.
sometimes you get the piece of chocolate that's filled with toothpaste.
Ew. The worst.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm digging. I don't know what I can even draw at this point to help come back from this. I guess I'm just hoping for maybe a Reality Smasher I can run at him, try to put him under pressure, and hope his Dark Confidant kills him. But he probably just blocked with Confidant.
I think that's your main out here, is just to find a Smasher, but even that's not so powerful with a Mimic on. Soko going to 4. Should be 3, but he's at 4. Or we're going to go ahead and tick up Liliana. Says, no, I don't need this extra land. I've got plenty of land. I just want to get Liliana back into target player's sack range.
So I see Gate here, just desperation pulling off the top of my deck.
I can't see what's in your hand.
Or we'll soon find out, I don't. Looks like another Thought Knot, maybe? Oh no.
Another... No, that's Mattery Shaper. Oh, that's a good blocker, but...
He's
got mana
a
open.
lot of damage on board here.
You've got mana open to activate the Mutavault and the Blink Moth on defense. Because I imagine Liliana is probably going to make you sacrifice the Mattery Shaper, and he just hopes that you don't have another creature to replace it.
I think in my head right now, I'm contemplating like, okay, do I just swing the Blink Moth at Lily so he can't make me sack a creature, or do I keep it up for Seagate and just pray this works out? Or
I think you hold it back on defense, and then wait for Liliana to make a move, and if she does, you sack the Mattery Shaper and just hope to find some gas off of it.
maybe another Mattery Shaper.
Oh, that hurts.
Slaps it off the top of his deck, shows it to me.
I mean, that hurts both players, to be honest, because he's going to cast that Bloodbraid Elf right now. There's no reason not to.
That's what I needed, but it's not enough. I was hoping his Bob was going to kill him.
Even a Thoughtseize isn't dead now. That other card in your hand is an Eternal Scourge. So Thoughtseize or Inquisition will take it.
Yeah.
But with 4 life, Norbut not taking any chances is going to make you discard that card, knowing Mattery Shaper will be the sacrifice if he decides to -2-er.
And also giving himself more food for Skoos.
Yeah, it's another Dark Confidant he just discarded. More food for Tarmogoyf as well, which again should be a 5/6.
And he
right
finds
now.
he finds Skoos
Yeah,
with the Bloodbraid Elf.
that's pretty strong.
Big wide board here from Jund, accelerating at a really awesome tempo this match.
I would swing with everything here, even with the Bloodbraids. The Bloodbraids they both might die, but it doesn't matter. But Norbut, again, playing very conservative here and just coming in with the Tarmogoyf and the Scavenging Ooze. And now he realizes the Tarmogoyf is a 5/6. The dice has moved.
Yeah, I guess he did have to be slightly afraid of me drawing into like a Smasher coming at him for damage and then Confidant killing him. But he'd probably block the Smasher with Confidant. I feel a little bit of respite here knowing that I don't have to lose my lands to survive this turn, but it still seems real bad.
See, the thing about keeping the lands on defense, this is why I said Norbut should probably swing with the Bloodbraid Elves as well. He might lose them, but...
I would find something I can't play with Mattery Shaper.
Yeah. I was just going to eat the 2 creatures with Scavenging Ooze, the Scavenging Ooze that just came in. So now both of them will be 4/4s.
Really grim. I'm certainly not living past the next turn if I can't do something big.
All is dust?
Surprisingly, I think I actually have enough mana to cast it, but I do
You
not
do.
have that card.
You do. You have just enough at 7.
I find it kind of clunky and very hard to cast in this version of the deck without Tron, so I don't run it. I'm able to draw with Seagate Wreckage, find myself a temple, but too little, too late perhaps.
Yeah. If you don't have all this dust, I think this is just game over.
Another Thought Knot, but that's not going to do much for me. He has another Lily, the other Lily.
Yeah, the last hope.
Which would have been pretty disgusting to see come out anyway.
I don't know what exactly it would have done in this board state, but...
Oh man, I was like frozen still. I thought the video froze there.
No, you were froze. The video was fine.
Beep boop does not compute.
We've had the camera have some little glitches here and there, but this was not one of them. A land revealed off the Dark Confidant. It's looking like it's over now.
I was hoping he was going to hit all his dust with Dark Confidant.
Hit Taziger, go to 1, Simian Spirit Guide, Lightning Bolt.
If only.
Liliana going to -1, Soko opting to activate his Blatant Moth Nexus and sacrifice that. And now Norbut finally coming in with everything.
And
Activating
it's
Unibolt,
game.
not
I
enough.
cannot block enough of that. The Bloodbraid elves setting themselves up to lead the charge and take me out game 1. So I'm immediately reaching to my sideboard here and going for Ratchet Bombs. I'm like, this card is going to help me win this matchup. All those Goyfs, all of his stuff, I'm going to be really afraid of me. So I'm here thinking to myself, okay, I'm on the play. If I can get this Chalice off at 1, I should be in really good shape. So I'm hoping that through extensive mulliganing and Serum Powder, I'm going to be able to find the turn 1 Chalice play.
The right side of the table curse continues.
Oh yeah, is that how it goes?
It seems like whoever's on the left side of the table usually wins. I don't get it.
I think it's the positioning, you know. On the left side of the table, you're in like this comfy little alcove with a wall behind your back. You feel very protected and powerful. On the other side, your back is open to whoever walks in and walks past on the way to the restroom.
People could be walking, through to get to the restroom, or they could be watching from the doorway over here just because their match is over and they want to see what's going to happen on stream. There could be people playing on the video games out ahead of us.
Yeah, you got no one over your shoulder when you're on the left side.
It's just you and your cards, you and your thoughts.
Just a bit of cartography, a lovely map hanging over Norbut's shoulder.
Yeah, a really old map too. I can tell it's old because it still has northern Rhodesia in Africa.
And here's Lemuria and Mu. No.
Here there be dragons.
Not such a silent cartographer though, Alex. More of a loud one. So what to take out here? I'm thinking, all right, what didn't do that much work against him? I don't know. This deck's hard to sideboard, in my opinion, because there's not that many cards I really want to take out. Here, I'm literally I'm about to take I think I took 1 Chalice out. It was kind of a weird idea, but...
Having that on 2 shuts down more of Jund than you think.
Yeah. It's tough to get it, though. Every time I play a deck like that has black, it gets discarded almost every single time, unless I play it turn 1.
It has to. I mean, black decks run a lot of 1-drops because they also tend to be red. So you don't want them to, like, if you're a black-red player, you don't want to have all of your hand disruption turned off. You don't want to have your lightning bolts and fatal pushes turned off.
Honestly, I think that was a bad decision to take out the 4th Chalice there. I should have kept that in.
Yeah, because you can get that to go before they discard if you're on the play, and you are on the play. Not starting at 4 life, though. Heavens, no. Let's reset those life totals right now.
Alright, let's see if I can get some fun Serum Powder shenanigans this time.
Do we have the powder? The power of powder.
If I recall correctly, I didn't get it at all turn 1 this entire tournament.
I think I see one right now.
Oh, maybe
wait, no, that's Gemstone Caverns. But you're going first, so that's not real. Oh, wait, hang on. Is that it? On the far left?
It might be, but sometimes I think this hand was too good to do it.
Oh, no, that's an Eldrazi temple.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes, if you get the temple in your hand and the powder, you almost don't want to always go for it.
Yeah.
Because temple is so strong in this deck.
Oh, yeah. You get a lot of your big plays on turn 2. You can have turn 2 Eternal Scourge, turn 2 Mad Reshaper, turn 1 Eldrazi Mimic.
Really good. So now I'm prepping to hit him with a Thought Knot next turn if I've got it, and swing for 4. Let's see if I can do it.
Norbut just going to lay down what appears to be a treetop village.
Yeah, it's an ape land.
Yeah, how about that? That's some old school tech right there.
It's really good, low cost activation too. I'm like, what the heck is that?
Yeah, only 1 in a green, 3/3 with trample. Just take it. It's simple, it's effective, it's cheap, it's so good.
And combined with all the removal that Jund has at his disposal, it can certainly accelerate the clock. Alright, dropping my Blink Moth, and here we go.
Ratchet Bomb.
Ratchet Bomb.
Mimic only swinging as a 2/1, but that's okay.
So, here's something to think about if you use Ratchet Bomb as a player. You might be urged to get it out quickly, get the counters on it, but you also give your opponent a lot of room to play around it when you put it out so early.
Mm-hmm.
So, the way I thought it, I was like, I'll just get it out and try to make them go too slow to deal with me.
Why is it on a tapping here? Did you just forget to? There we go.
Yeah. There you go. Reach over, grab that thing.
Like, oh wait, I've got that thing too. Okay. And here we got Seagate Wreckage.
Ghost Quarter, right?
No, it's Seagate Wreckage.
Oh, it is. You're right. Yeah. All right. Nothing else. So I'm just coming at him, trying to see if he wants to get rid of his Tarmogoyf, but
Offer the trade, and no. That 0-1 Tarmogoyf is just going to sit there. And Ratchet Bomb will ratchet up to 2.
yeah, honestly, I don't know why I'm not just waiting till his end step to do that stuff, threatening the
Yeah, you
one
should.
explosion.
He's going to show you Liliana the Last Hope and kill that Eldrazi Mimic. That's a straight -2/-1.
What a great card. But yet again, if I don't miss it, I think I have the play Blink Moth just kills her off. Oh no, he pluses it.
Yeah, so you kill off the Eldrazi Mimic.
Oh, that's what it does. Okay.
-2/-1 until your next turn.
Very
Or
good.
until the Liliana's next turn. So now Tarmogoyf swinging in as a 1/2. That Ratchet Bomb threatening its existence, though.
Oh yes, and it looks like his hand is full of 2-drops, so...
Reality Smasher.
Oh,
Coming straight at Lily's face. You're not going to get to do that again.
Man, that card
But-
is just so beast mode.
But a Planeswalker in the graveyard will grow the Tarmogoyf to a 2/3. So... giving you more reasons to think about popping that Ratchet Bomb.
I'm really praying to get a lot of value off it, but yet again, I think putting it out early may have been a mistake, because I could have baited him into expanding his board state more before showing him the Ratchet Bomb.
You don't want to put it out too early, but you don't want to put it out too late either. Because if you put it out too late, it's not going to be strong enough to get rid of the cards you want to get rid of. And here's the
also-
other Liliana.
And he probably put in extra copies of K-Command or some sort of artifact hit denial to deal with the Chalice.
So now, you chose to leave the Ratchet Bomb on 2 and not set it off. Maybe with Liliana on the table, you think about putting it up to 3. But with Blinkmoth Nexus, oh yeah, Blinkmoth Nexus, that's right. Okay, so
Just fly right over.
just fly over, take her out. Norbut's like, all right, she's already done her job.
He has all the removal answers he needs. I'm pretty sure I'm just sitting here with a lot of land in hand.
Gemstone Caverns coming down, $30 land, but in this case, it's just a wastes. And Eternal Scourge.
Yeah, Scourge is so cool. What an amazing card. But
Both players trading blows here, a lot of 1-for-1s. And a lot of just attack your Planeswalker. Thought Seize. Let's see what's in Soko's hand. Looks like another Eternal Scourge and a Simian Spirit Guide. Norbut going to take out that guide. Doesn't want any surprises. I would have taken the Scourge personally, because like the Spirit Guide you can't cast naturally under
That's
normal
true.
circumstances. But
Gemstone Cavern is the only way I can do it. Or
Yeah.
with another Spirit Guide.
getting rid of the Scourge with a discard spell does make it so that you can't cast it again.
Until I Scavenger Grounds. But that will be a ways away.
The added sorcery in the graveyard will pump Tarmogoyf to a 3/4, but Norbut's just going to pass here. Does not want to swing in. He's just going to leave the Tarmogoyf on defense, make sure that Scourge can't come at him.
And Norbut just showing me that I'm content to go all the way with one Tarmogoyf.
I'm going to make you use that Ratchet Bomb now and then play the rest of my 2-drops. Ran into a similar situation at a recent Modern event where I was piloting Jeskai Control. I resolved an early Engineered Explosives for 1 against Moses playing Elves. And he just had a handful of 1-drop gas and was refusing to play it until I set the thing off. I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
let's see it.
That's why I'm really thinking there's a strategic element to Ratchet Bomb that you might want to wait until a little later to put it out, but it's a risky thing to do. I was basically thinking to myself, like, even if he doesn't cast anything, I can slow him down enough to build my mana base, get big threats on board, but he's had an answer for every single beefy dude I've played. Next turn, I will begin to start using Seagate Wreckage to replenish my hand, because right now, pure advantage. He drops a Fulminator Mage on the field. Interesting sideboard choice.
Yeah, that's very, very strong against decks that are looking to get utility on their lands. I think he blows up the Seagate Wreckage here. He does. Just trying to stop you from getting more gas.
And it's smart. I mean, he's sitting there with tons of card advantage right now. I'm top decking for my life, and he's got a Tarmogoyf that is literally enough of a threat that I can't deal with.
Yeah, his hand's full of so much gas. I see a second Tarmogoyf in there. I see a Maelstrom Pulse. So if you drop something that does become a big threat that he has to deal with a removal spell to get rid of, he can just Maelstrom Pulse it.
And Jund is an extremely powerful deck this format.
Yeah, that's the first land to go to the graveyard this game. So now Tarmogoyf finally a 4/5. Soko's just going to pass here.
I'm really thinking, like, gosh, I'm going to have to Ratchet Bomb one Tarmogoyf. This is sad.
Sorcery, land, creature, planeswalker. That's your graveyard types. And now Tarmogoyf finally going to crash and bash. Soko going to take it here. He's still sitting on that Ratchet Bomb, playing it very conservatively. And another Fulminator Mage. Does this one pop like the Blinkmoth Nexus or maybe the Temple?
Then he decides to be patient with it.
Yeah, might as well. Might as well wait for you
to activate or try to mana land.
Yeah.
Drop a Temple here. And looks like I'm about to play a ooh.
Thought-Knot Seer.
Off my double Temples.
Showing off Bloodbraid Elf, Dark Confidant, Skoos, Tarmogoyf, and that Maelstrom Pulse.
I was like, dang, I wish I could discard every one of these cards.
Don't choose the Tarmogoyf.
I think I'd go for the Maelstrom Pulse here.
I would. Either the Maelstrom Pulse or the Bloodbraid Elf. Yeah, Maelstrom Pulse is going to be taken.
Because I'm just like, okay, now my Thought-Knot dies, he just draws a card, so. I'm not trying to play that. And look at Norbert, he does okay. He's like, you can see my hand for the rest of the game. I never understood why people do that.
Just to save them the trouble of having to write down the contents of a player's hand. Fulminator Mage going to chump block here, and then probably sacrifice, kill the Blinkmoth Nexus. There goes the Blinkmoth Nexus.
And a good play. And just like that, my mana base does not look so exceptional any longer.
Still got the double temples, so...
Yeah, any of my Eldrazi are certainly live right now. I really needed that wreckage, though. Smart play for him to take that out.
Finally, Norbut finds his fourth land. He's been stuck at 3 for a while, but now he can just go to town with his Bloodbraid Elf if he wants.
Truly. And when you're just riding one Tarmogoyf to victory, I gave him all the time he needed. Yet again, I can't help but think if I like hold off 2 turns on Ratchet Bomb, I might have and just like ran away with this game easily.
And Bloodbraid Elf's going to find Lightning Bolt. What's that going to hit?
My head.
Soko's face. Probably the best choice.
Yeah. Some people might go Scourge there without realizing that that card will keep coming back.
Anybody who knows what Eternal Scourge does is not going to make that mistake. And this is why Norbut is deciding not to swing. He's opting keeping himself preserved over going on offense. Bloodbraid Elf, of course, would die to either of Soko's creatures here. Tarmogoyf is bigger than both.
And Norbut's a very instructive player. I really enjoyed the way he just waits for the right moment to strike, conserves his resources. He's fastidious and precise. I enjoy it.
Another Eternal Scourge coming down on Soko's side.
Yeah, I pretty much have all the cards on my field that I wish I mulliganed away at turn 1, but...
See, we were talking earlier about my game with the Engineered Explosives and the 1-drop Elves. Look at Norbut's hand. The cards that you know he has are all 2-drops.
I'm still holding on that Ratchet Bomb. I'm like, I'm not going 1-for-1 with this thing. I'm not going 1-for-1.
Please play another thing. It's Liliana that he just top decked. Liliana gonna -2. I imagine you just sack an Eternal Scourge here, as bad as that feels.
Yeah, sadly, that doesn't target him.
No creature lands to throw away to it, and you're not gonna throw away Thought-Knot Seer when that'll just give him another card. Liliana completely protected behind that Tarmogoyf wall.
I have a tell. If I nervously finger tap, it means I have nothing.
I'll remember that. Temple being tapped for a Mimic.
Gosh, the cards I've been pulling off the top of my deck are not things I want to see this game. Like 2 Eternal Scourges, a Serum Powder.
This is not maximum Serum Powder Eldrazi that you're seeing here. This is Serum Powder Eldrazi with shackles and weights.
Didn't see any of my cool turn 1 mulligan plays, but that's okay. That happens sometimes.
Norbut just leveraging this Tarmogoyf for all it's worth, daring him to pop that Ratchet Bomb.
Yet again, just showing me his hand. He doesn't care.
And now finally he commits another 2-drop to the board. It's Dark Confidant. Maybe he just top decked another one, and that's why he's okay.
Yeah. Honestly, he's probably just trying to bait me to Ratchet Bomb finally.
+2, discarding that 5th land that he decides he doesn't need. Gonna pass the turn. Another one of those board states where Norbut's just not willing to attack. He wants to leverage his Planeswalker for all it's
The
worth.
tension is mounting. Anyone remember that? That was from Pokemon Stadium.
Another Serum Powder.
Oh boy. So yeah, this is one of the risks when you try to go for this Colorless Eldrazi deck. If you don't get that mulligan and get those nasty cards you don't really want to draw exiled off the bat, you can run into some clunky starts and finishes.
At least Serum Powder's not totally dead. A Spirit Guide would be totally dead.
Truly.
Can't even cast that.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to see another Serum Powder when you have mana for days anyway. I tap out. My highest cost thing is the Reality Smasher at 5.
With as much mana as you're drawing, maybe it is worth running all this dust.
I know, right? Yeah.
And now the Mimic will come on offense here and trade with his Bloodbraid Elf while Tarmogoyf eats the Eternal Scourge. Again, one of the ways to get Eternal Scourge off the table without causing it to go to exile.
Finds the Bolt with Confidant pretty good.
Now Liliana going to go away, get rid of that Thought Not Seer. Norbut will draw another card.
That's a +1 play right there. And I'm sure he knows that I'm about to Ratchet Bomb his ass, but he really shouldn't care. Seeing that he's going to have just another bigger Battergoyf replacing him. Especially since I think...
there's no artifact in the graveyard. Yeah, that'll be the first
yeah.
artifact in the graveyard. So the next Tarmogoyf will be a 5/6.
Which will dodge my Dismember and kill my Smasher. I'm completely out of options to deal with that thing.
Yeah. But to save your own life, I think you just have to go ahead and pop it. Because if he connects with both of those, I believe that... No, actually that would put you at... It'll put you at 1 with the Lightning Bolt. Yeah, now he's going to go ahead and just slide that Tarmogoyf and that Scavenging Ooze
The
over.
Delinquent Duo comes out. Really huge Goyf.
He's got Death on board here
Yeah,
with the Treetop Village.
I think I have like a top deck, like maybe a Dismember or something.
If he activates Treetop Village, that's game. Well, he's got a Lightning Bolt as well, so we'll just cast that. Yep, that's it.
Ooh, it was a Ghost Quarter off the top. Oh, and there's a Smasher, but that was way too little, way too late. And that's a decisive victory. Norbut takes over me, showing the power of Jund in this new format now that Bloodbraid Elf is off of the out-of-stock shelf or whatever. But thanks for tuning in, everybody. It was a really cool match. Or maybe I'll show you one where I win next time.
Have a good day, everybody. NeverBoard Gaming Community, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.